Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer2Buzzer. Alright, so it's been nearly a month since our last video aired, and you guys might be wondering where we've been. Well, all four of us are now rising seniors in the greater Chicagotown area in Illinois, and we decided to take a little bit of a break because there wasn't that much sports content going on around the world. And the last video we made was on the NBA Returning. And now there's been a lot of more developments with the MLB returning next week and the NBA the following week. We got a lot more sports content to talk about and a lot more fiery and really good debates to come up. So now that we got some more content to talk about, we hope that you guys will stick along and get ready for some great Buzzer2Buzzer content to return. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right. Well, guys, the last time we talked about the NBA bubble and all the details, and we'll link that video in the top right-hand corner if you want to find out some of the details and the nitty-gritty behind the NBA and the whole bubble situation going on. But as of the last week, a lot of NBA teams, I believe almost all teams besides one, have arrived into the bubble, and we've seen a lot of great content, especially from players like JaVale McGee, who are making their own vlogs, and Matthias Seibel from the 76ers, who are giving us inside scoops of the whole bubble, the safety precautions they're taking, and how they're practicing, and the whole situation inside the bubble. And all of us have been keeping track with what's going on inside, and we can't help but wonder, until the season starts, who is going to be the 8th seed in each respective conference, that being the Eastern and Western Conference. Which is why today we want to take a look at the NBA schedule for the 22 teams returning in general, and make a prediction for who will be the 8th seed in the Eastern and Western Conference. Then, once the NBA actually starts playing some games, we'll be making some reaction videos and getting some more content out even faster. So, let's get started. All right, so let's get started with the Eastern Conference. Now, in the Eastern Conference, there weren't that many teams which came out. In fact, there was only 9 teams as compared to the 13 teams which came from the Western Conference. Now, in the Eastern Conference, there's only 2 teams really battling for that 8th seed spot to make a playoff run, that being the Orlando Magic, who currently already have the 8th seed, sitting at a record of 30 wins and 35 losses, while we got the 9th team who came out, that being the Washington Wizards, who are trailing behind at a record of 24 wins and 40 losses. Now, guys, the Wizards are 6 games behind. However, they were still brought in because technically they could still get the 8th seed if the Magic somehow lose all the next 6 games out of their 8 games that they're going to play. Now, what do we think from the Eastern Conference? Harsh, what do you think? Who's going to be the 8th seed in the East?
Well, I think playing 8 games, losing 6, and only winning 2 is kind of difficult to pull off. I think the Orlando Magic win like maybe 3 or 4 games. That's enough for them to get the 8th seed. I don't think there's really that much of a struggle here for them.
Yeah, 2 games is not a lot to win for a majority of the teams in the NBA, I think. So they shouldn't have a problem with securing the 8th seed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Orlando Magic are just too far ahead for the Wizards to catch up. Also, Wizards are missing a lot of players, and so I just think the Orlando Magic secure the 8th seed.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't seem like much of a question, especially in the East right now, considering how Aaron Gordon and they've been playing well right now. And 6 games is just way too much of a difference. Even if the Magic start to flip little games, no way they're going to lose 6 out of the 8 games at a 75% rate. So I think we all agree here in the East. However, the West is where it gets interesting. Now, in the Western Conference, guys, I'll put up the slide. I'm not going to read all of this, but right now at the 8th seed, we got the Memphis Grizzlies at a record of 32 wins and 32 losses. However, unlike the East, it's much more competitive, which is why there were 13 teams brought to the bubble from the West. We got at number 9, the Portland Trail Blazers at 29 and 37 losses. And then we got the New Orleans Pelicans with Zion Williamson looking like he's ready to make a statement at 28 wins and 36 losses. Now, other teams which follows are like the Sacramento Kings, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Phoenix Suns, which I don't think any of us are going to be rooting for. But in reality, I think that we got 3 teams who are going to be battling out here. We got the Memphis Grizzlies, the Trailblazers, and the Pelicans. Who do we think is going to get that 8th seed spot?
Well, I think Zion and the Pelicans actually get it done here. I think they're the 10th seed as of right now, but they have the easiest schedule left out of all teams in the NBA, whereas the Memphis Grizzlies have the hardest schedule left. So I think that'll take the Memphis Grizzlies out of contention. And also, one more point to be noted, we did recently hear that Zion Williamson did leave the bubble for some family situation now. It's all contingent upon if he's returning for all 8 games, obviously. But yeah, if he does return for all 8 games, I do believe that the Pelicans get it done.
I'll actually pull up the schedule for the Grizzlies, and the first game they have is actually against the Trailblazers, but it also includes games against the Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Pelicans. But in my opinion, I think that the Trailblazers will probably edge out, not only because they have a bit more easier schedule than the Grizzlies, but also because Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, they look ready, and we don't know of the future of when will Zion Williamson be available. In the previous episode, we discussed his lawsuit. Will he potentially need to leave ever for legal reasons? And just right now, he left under the condition of a family emergency. So a lot of questionables, and with those questionables in hand, I'm going to say that the Trailblazers will get that 8C spot.
I think I'm going to have to agree with Aryan on this one. I'm saying when he said the Pelicans are going to get the 8 seed. What he said with being contingent on Zion joining back and playing, I think that Pelicans can really step up their game. And I think like Zion's a key player on that team. I think he's really good of a player. So I think he's going to really help the team get this 8 spot.
I'm going to disagree with all of you. I think the Phoenix Suns, they're going to come in. No, I'm just kidding. No, the Memphis Grizzlies, they're going to actually win the 8th seed. Okay, so if you look at it, right, there are many games ahead of the rest of the competition. Mm-hmm. And to say that they only have to win 4 games in the worst-case scenario if the Trailblazers and the Pelicans win all 8 games, which isn't even possible because they're playing each other. Winning 4 games out of 8 is difficult, I guess, given that they have a hard schedule. But that's like the worst-case scenario, not to mention that the Trailblazers and the Pelicans are going to play each other, making it even harder for them to try and pass the Grizzlies.
Okay, well, if we pull up the schedule for the Grizzlies, where we saw that they're playing the Trailblazers, Utah Jazz, the Thunder, the Raptors, the Celtics, and the Bucks. All of these teams, many from the Eastern Conference, who are already going to be making the playoffs. While if we pull up a team like, say, the Trailblazers, they're going to be playing, sure, the Celtics, the Clippers, and 76ers and the Mavericks and the Nets. Now, the Nets, they're KD-less, Kyrie-less, so they don't have that much of a chance to win, which brings up an interesting point. So,
but going further, I think if you look at it, right, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'll have the schedule pulled up when you're talking, so like on the side.
No, I had something to say. Oh, yeah. Okay, so say the Grizzlies and the Trailblazers, right, and they play each other. If the Grizzlies win that game, that puts them 2 games behind the Trailblazers. The Grizzlies puts them 2 games because now they lost and the Grizzlies won. So that puts them 2 games down. So now they literally have to win every single game to pass the Grizzlies, which I doubt happens. Not to mention they have to beat the Pelicans too. And if they beat the Pelicans, now the Pelicans are out. Okay. It's a very must-win scenario for all of them.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that will come out in a future video in which we're going to analyze the bracket and everything. But right now, it looks like the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, will be the first seed in the West. Now, do we think that any of the teams we discussed, like the Pelicans, the Trailblazers, and the Grizzlies, do they have a chance at upsetting the Lakers, or will LeBron and AD easily get past that first round?
I mean, the thing with the NBA is I think it's, pretty unpredictable. Yeah, sure, you have the great teams, you have the mediocre teams, and you have the teams who are struggling to make the playoffs. But I think, at the end of the day, you don't know for sure if a team is if a team with a better record can beat a team with the worst record. And even with superstars like LeBron and AD, I don't think it's you can't be 100% sure that they're going to win. But I think it's obviously highly likely that the Lakers will go past the first round with the team that they have.
Yeah, I just think that the Lakers are just purely more talented than all 3 of those other teams. And in basketball, I think since it's a 7-game series, usually the better team wins. As you see in football, sometimes the game comes down to a few calls because it's only 1 game. But in basketball, it's very rare for a team that's much worse in talent to beat the more talented team.
Yeah, for sure. A game in football sometimes comes down to a field goal, give or take, right? So
3-yard attempt from the right hash mark. And he hits the upright again. That's impossible.
We all know how that's played out.
Building off of that too, these players, they haven't played basketball in months, like competitive basketball against other teams in months. Like nobody knows how each player is going to come. There could be injury from like, not having enough practice or exercise. Like although they have their, warm up period where they like scrimmage and practice and stuff like that, that's not enough. That doesn't replicate real game scenarios where everything's on the line.
For sure. Definitely something to look out for. And guys, we at Buzzer2Buzzer will be getting much more active on our social media again, along with our new videos coming out regarding the whole NBA. And hopefully we'll be making some more videos regarding NBA, like the game highlights and what's been going on. Even more updates regarding the NBA as more and more details are coming out. We got a lot more fresh content to come and a lot more debates to come up as well. We hope that you guys will rejoin us in the ride and enjoy our videos. As always, comment down who you believe will is your 8th seed for each respective conference in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.